Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Hi, everybody. This is B.C.A. You're listening to Beyond the Podcast of 1984. This is episode 10? And today's episode is a very special episode. Yes, this episode is all about my band, the Earwigs. So, if you already know the story, you don't need to listen to this, but I'm going to throw in a bunch of, tidbits and crap. So, anyways, let's just jump right to the gun. If this blab goes on too long, then I'll do a part 2, because I have a lot of stuff. But, so, anyways, as a kid, I was really into 80s pop music, and I still am. I rediscovered it again years ago, and I never stopped listening to it. I love it all. And then I, of course, later got in hard rock, and then I got into metal, and then from there I got into, punk rock, and I got into grindcore, and industrial, and just all kinds of stuff, techno, and just blah, 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 goes on and on and on and on and on. When I was a kid, I think it was just about to turn 12. I was hanging out with my best friend at the time, Wayne Quick, a.k.a. Insane Wayne Kitsune. We're hanging out. We're walking down the street in Minot, North Dakota, and we were talking about Kid Video, if you remember that cartoon, and it was funny. We were talking about it. I was like, their music's really neat, but I wish it was louder. And I'll never forget this. He looks right over at me, and I'm not kidding. This is almost 42 years ago. He goes, "What do you want, noise?" And I go, "Yeah." Well, here's the thing, man. I knew nothing. Okay, 12 years old, 19, God, what was it? No, it would have been almost in 1983. So anyways, I would not hear, noise stuff, or at least noisecore first, till, 89. So I still had several years off. But anyways, so, I got my guitar in. I got this beautiful guitar. I still have her. I got her in July of 87. And that was probably the best thing that I ever bought. I had a job on the Air Force Base in Hunn, Germany. And I bought my guitar, and I still have it, and I played a lot more. Well, anyways, I kept trying to form bands with people. It was my dream, because I was really, really, really into hard rock and heavy metal. I hadn't listened to 80s pop in a long time, but I was really into, Motley Crue, Rat, Dokken, Van Halen, and then Cinderella, Poison. I liked Y&T, and then a little bit later, not too long later, of course, Twisted Sister. I got into Manowar. Grim Reaper. Basically, I don't need to give you a whole history of that, but I was listening to a lot of hard rock, and of course, Iron Maiden and Motorhead, and I could just go on and on. Rush, Black Sabbath, Ozzy solo stuff, Queensryche, the real Queensryche for me, with Jeff Tate. Anyways, so I was in all his music. I kept trying to form bands, totally failed. I ended up doing a band in 1986 with a friend of mine named Chris Hayes, and his nickname was Chris the Hiss. And of course, I was Wild C. Styles, and we did this beyond horrible, band called Scream Rage. And I actually have it on CD, and I'm hoping to get that kind of revitalized, because the very end of it is not on it. It should be on it. It's just some really stupid stuff, but it's really funny. And it was just freaking terrible. My buddy was playing a seat cushion with pens, and I was playing a bass guitar with no amp and doing lead vocals. It was really bad. A lot of fun. Anyways, several years later, I was living in Idaho. It was 1990, and I kept really wanting to do a band. And I'd been pen pals with Food Fortunato from Sockeye for a short time, and I wrote him a letter one day, and I was like, man, I really want to form a grind band. I want to do a 100-song tape. And all I had at the time was what was it? No, I got that in 91. I'm trying to remember what I had back then. Oh, yeah, okay, I didn't have anything. I just had my guitar and an amp. That was it. PV amp that ended up just blowing up one day or something. I just working. I threw it in the garbage instead of trying to get fixed. One chord. I think I had one guitar pick, and I had a distortion pedal and that thing, and the wiring was so bad, I didn't know how to fix anything. Anyways, we're talking, and this was right after I got into very early. I still have the British, the imported cassette of from Enslavement to Obliteration by Napalm Death. I heard Napalm Death. I heard the first Carcass. Because one of my friends sent me this, some 90-minute tapes just full of stuff. And the stuff that I liked the best was it gave me the first Minch one-sided 7-inch and Anal Cunt's 88-song EP, and bands like Nam Land. I just wish I could remember all the other stuff. But some old, very early grind stuff. I think I had like a promo cassette of, which isn't grind, but anyways, like, Godflesh Street Cleaner. I got that from Mark Sawickas. He sold me some promo cassettes, which was really cool. Long time ago. So anyways, I'm like, I really want to form a band. And I was just like, I want to do this. So I go over to Wayne's and I'm hanging out there. I ended up staying for like 8 days. His parents went out of town on vacation with two brothers. No, it was just this one brother, Matthew, because the little guy, his little tiny brother, for the life of me, can't remember his name. Anyways, he hadn't been born yet. Okay. So anyways, we're hanging out. I'm down in the basement and I brought my guitar. And I had it tuned a certain way well on the amp, and I really liked it. I was trying to get it to sound like Entombed's Left Hand Path, because I love that guitar tone. I know it's been overused, but I love the sound on that. So I would like try to have it like that. Anyways, I was just playing around. There was a suitcase sitting there, and I was wearing cowboy boots. So I lived on a ranch, but I like the cowboy boots. I don't really now because I always warp them. Anyways, I started just banging on it with my, with a cowboy boot on, and it sounded really cool. So long story short, I'm like, hey man, can I use this? Can I use this bum box? It was I think his mom's bum box. He said, sure. Long story short, I started recording it. And it was really funny because it started right out, at the beginning when you hear an and that kind word from our sponsor. He's like, ew. That was Wayne yelling at, and I'm really happy that I got him on there. Anyways, I recorded that tape. I ended up going back to Idaho, when the hangout was over. And I was sitting in a room trying to come up with a name. I was thinking of some really bad names. I was like thinking B.C. and the Sickos. And at the time, I was obsessed with Tracy Lords. I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to call my band the Gore Lords. And it had a Z at the end. And I still think that name's kind of cool, but it's kind of cheesy. And then I was like Combadia, which was like the combination of Princess Com and Badia from Outlanders. Still got all those, man. Still got all those graphic novels, all of the manga. Trying to come up with all these names. And all of a sudden I was thinking about Alice Cooper's high school band was called the Earwigs. And it just really, really hit me because I was like, I don't really want to use a name kind of like, all these bands at the time. I don't know, this might have been right before there were more of those. But, you had Anal Cunt and then later on Anal Massacre, Vaginal Massacre, Oral Climax. All these bands are kind of just crude sexual names. And I'm like, I don't even want a name like that. At first, though, when I did the Earwigs, I was trying to be all gory, because I was really inspired by Impetigo. I love Impetigo. In fact, a little story about them in a moment. But anyways, I recorded it. I ended up, I had the tape done. I drew a cover. So this mutilated corpse. And it was only about 5.5 minutes. And I ended up making copies and sending it to people. And I was like, this is my band. I'm going to do this even if it's just pure And it was. It's horrible. It's still bad. But I got to tell you, I still feel pride whenever I listen to it. I laugh because, that was the very first Earwigs. And I've been doing it ever since. I ended up in 91. I lived in Texas. And this is after I recorded the November, whatever, Fake Live, November 90, Dismembered, which I still laugh when I listen to because all the songs I did covers of, I didn't even know the lyrics, so I'd mumble them. And I don't know, it's fun. It's a fun, ridiculous tape. Well, I ended up in Texas for a few months, and my brother, Derek, my stepbrother, let's call him my brother, but he played guitar, and I used a hanger and a little tiny garbage can. It was like banging as fast as could scream, and we ended up recording a bunch of stuff. I did Terror Alerts in a Dark Basement. I think it was the one right before I did that. I did it was just me banging on a ventilator system and doing like frog croaking vocals. It was Necro Bestial Cannibal Love songs. And I recorded some stuff there in Texas, and then I ended up in California, and that's when I did Holocaust, which I think to this day is probably the one I sold the most to the most trades with. And I ended up, got that on a CD, my buddy over in the Canary Islands, Anolo, and I apologize. What's your label? Damn it. I don't have the reference right here. But anyways, he put that out on CD along with my Gingerbread Regulays tape. Which I still love. That's one of my favorite total, like, whatever the hell it was. Just totally nuts, weird, spastic noise, garbage, whatever. And then, like, I did a short recording that I had found at the end of Holocaust that I never put out. I never recorded back then, but it was called Piss, Shit, Vomit, and Cum. And that was a lot of fun. It was just banging on like a cardboard box, going boom, 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 and then playing my guitar and just going, doing my vomit vocals, and just ridiculous. And I did The Stupidity Maketh Thy Idiot. I did that around 91 too, I think, when I got back at Idaho. And that was just like playing like my Casio, the drum pads, and then doing these like all distorted vocals. And I don't know, I laugh at that. The only thing I don't like about that is that I used a picture of a real hung corpse, which later on I was like, it's kind of disrespectful. I don't know if like that got re-released. It was that, was it Terror Lurks in the Dark Basement and Stupidity Maketh Thy Idiot. And Zach, when he put that together, it's just got the art from Terror Lurks in the Dark Basement, which is like a horrible, my version of an alien on the cover is just really bad. It's just bad art. It's really crappy, but I like it. I think it's funny. But anyways, years went by, kept doing Earwigs, put out a bunch of tapes, ended up in, I think it was 98 is when I did Let's Make Love Tonight. That was my first CDR. And then a while later, I ended up doing What Is Her Secret, which was on my own label. The other one was on Scientist Recordings, my buddy Mike. Hey, Mike Scientist. And ended up playing a bunch of shows. Not as many shows as I would have liked, but I've played a bunch of festivals, been invited. I played a couple times in Seattle, played near Seattle, played at Portland one time down in the basement. That was a really cool show. I went kind of crazy, got really pissed off, got really drunk. But no, I haven't played a show now in like 5 years. But, the Earwigs started out as kind of like noisecore garbage. Then I was trying to do grind noise, like keep calling it an 808. It wasn't an 808. It was my buddy Adam. It was a drum machine. It was like really simple beats, but I did like, it was totally inspired by Sore Throat. But I recorded like 2 or 3 tapes like that. I did horns, DSA, Delay, Norlone. Oh yeah, the Venus sessions, which I just found all that on CD. I gotta like re-release that. I gotta find. Thank you, Zach. My friend Zach Howard does Fuck Music Productions. He's put out a lot of Japanese hardcore stuff, a lot of like noisecore, a lot of noise shit trash. Really awesome, dude. Love you, brother. He's been one of the biggest supporters of the Earwigs, and but he's put a lot of my stuff to CDR, and I guess there's more stuff. And then if you get online on Fish Move Productions, there's a lot of my stuff. There's some Adam stuff. There's stuff I've done with other friends. A lot of stuff on there. Crazy stuff, but it's all free downloads, and I think you can print the covers out, so I don't care. It's like you make your own copies. Just, if you're going to sell a bunch of copies, send us money. We'd appreciate it because we're broke. Anyways, I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of bad times with the Earwigs. I played shows, like one show I was playing, didn't know that at the time what happened, but the PA went out. I did about 3 minutes of noise, and the rest of the recording, which I don't know where it's at right now, but it's like 10 minutes of me yelling. It's like, nothing's working. And I start getting really like just violently pissed off. But after all those incidents, I'm like, I'm not going to get mad anymore. It's like I play a show, something goes wrong, amp doesn't work. Oh, well, the very last show that I played, we were trying to set it up. The amp wasn't working. Did about 5 minutes, it just nothing was working. So I go, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Earwig set. Hope you enjoyed it. This has just been released on limited edition of 1 CDR, sold out, special packaging. Sorry you missed out. They're all laughing. I calmed down. We got everything. I wasn't even mad, but we got it set up, and I did probably one of my worst sets ever. But when I play live, sometimes I wear costumes. I prefer to. I think it's just boring to get up there and look all regular. It's like, like I remember interviews with Metallica. They're like, ooh, we just like to look like how we do on the street. I'm like, boring. Teach their own, but I like costumes. I wear makeup sometimes. But it's been a mix. I'm inspired by a lot of stuff with the Earwigs, but I'm gonna say my biggest inspirations for the Earwigs are definitely the films of Shinya Tsukamoto, John Carpenter's The Thing. Just like all that crazy, the crazy stuff, man. Like Japanese cyberpunk. I'm inspired by a lot of like earlier, probably the second wave. I still like, I love like Ramones and Sex Pistols. I guess you could call that the first wave of punk. But anyways, like a lot of the the LA punk stuff just really inspired me. Just the manic energy. And then, of course, sci-fi, especially big time, anime. Anime is a big time inspiration to me. Horror movies, action movies, 80s pop, a lot of hard rock, Twisted Sister, Rat, Motley Crue, Doc, and all that stuff inspires me, man. I'm inspired by a lot of stuff, but I'm going to say when it comes to noise, definitely, like the Hana Tarash is a huge inspiration. Hydrokaiden, CCCC, Killer Bug is awesome. God, there's a lot of bands. Masana, big time Masana fan. Very inspired. You know, his microphone noise, vocal noise. And I've gone crazy like with the microphone. I love it. But a lot of stuff. Anal Cunt Minch, Impetigo, Nuclear Death, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix. Oh no, that's not, Misfits, Sam Hain. Oh no, that's not all noise. None of that's noise. I don't care. Well, the Anal Cunt Minch noise score. But anyways, Anal Massacre, just like a lot, just stuff inspires the Earwigs, man. My Dream Woman. And like I've said this a long, long, long time ago, I'll say it again, but looking up at the stars, the moon and the sun and insects and nature and earth, I'm very inspired by a lot of stuff. Some people just think that noise is pretentious. Well, go ahead and think that. I've been called pretentious. And I've tried to explain to people and say, well, yeah, if you don't understand it, you never will. But I've had a lot of fun with the Earwigs, and I've tried to quit several times, and it's like a horrible disease. There's no cure. I can't stop. I thought I was playing a show last spring or in the summer. That never happened. I was kind of bummed out about it, and I was just like, that's fine, whatever. And I'm just doing what I want to do, and playing shows. I don't know. Do I want to play a show again? I keep saying I'm never going to play live again. Yeah, right. I don't know. Even if I never did, I can still record, and I have trying to record. I've been like very, very, very slow. I recorded an album. It's on CDR now, but it's called Brush Your Teeth with Fucking Shit. I mentioned that in my last episode. But it's total shit. It's a lot of just me playing the drum machine with one hand and playing my guitar with one hand. My other hand, and then just yelling with no microphone. And the thing is, it was a lot of fun to do because as much as I love doing total noise and kind of power electronic type stuff, you know what? I like doing total shit. Because that's what the Earwigs started out, as total garbage. And unlike a lot of bands that, I'm ashamed of my early stuff, like some of these bands like Blood that started out doing total shit or whatever, and they're like, oh, we hate that stuff. And I've seen them in an interview, they're totally trashing on like noise and stuff. Like, it's a garbage, that's your opinion. I still think Blood is a great band, and I know I probably already mentioned them before. And I know like Mark Swiggis, he didn't like, I sent him the really short, August 90, really short and unofficial rehearsal tape, and he sent it back, said, that's not really my cup of tea, but thanks, I'm not doing my zine anymore. And it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but I'm like, you know what, whatever, that's cool, man. I was hoping that he would review it in a zine, but he did Uniforce, he quit doing that. But I was like, I got over it. And my friend Jerry from Real Sickness zine, wherever you are, band, I hope you're still alive. I've been trying to find you since 94, but anyways, anybody know Jerry SCV Check? Anybody? He was actually distributing my, he was making copies of Dismembered, and at the end of it, he'd put really short, unofficial August 90. And I thought that was really awesome because he was a total death metal, black metal guy, with the exception of the Doors, Devo, and I think a couple other pop groups. But, Jerry was all about pretty much death metal, grind, and, black metal, especially black metal. Anyways, but he would dub copies and send them to people, and he had it on his distro list, and that meant a lot to me. That was really cool. But yeah, sometimes making noise is a real challenge. It's like, you do hear, people are like, oh yeah, the only reason you do noise is because you can't play an instrument. Well, part of it, that's true. The reason why I do noise and the reason why that I do the Earwigs is because I'm really not a musician. And I'll be honest with you, it is true. Making noise is easy. My thing is, if you don't put your heart into it, you don't put any kind of personality into it, what's the point of doing it? You're just recording noise. You're not. And I think the Earwigs definitely has a personality. I was reading something really cool years ago. I wish that magazine was still around, but Banana Fish had an interview with Miyuko Hino. I hope I pronounced her name right. She's one of the queens of noise from CCCC and this kick-ass, really weird, crazy psychedelic noise. I love CCCC. You're awesome, Miyuko. But she said something really cool. It was an interview. They're talking about noise in it, obviously. And she said, something about, like, I listened to the band before I talked to the person, and you can kind of get their personality, what the person is about through their sounds. I wish I could remember exactly what she said, but I thought it was really cool. And I was thinking about it. It's like, yeah, certain bands have their own aesthetic, and it doesn't matter whatever genre you do, but especially noise. But I always laugh when people think that noise is pointless. Well, that's your opinion. Anybody can record it. Yeah, anybody can. But like I said, you don't put your personality into it. You don't put your heart into it, your soul. It doesn't really mean anything. It still exists, but there's all kinds of noise out there. There's total shit. There's like there's political noise, there's pervert, I don't know, what do you call it, like hentai noise. I don't know. You know what I mean? You got to get the gist of what I'm talking about, but like just different imagery. Like Merzbau's earlier stuff, and a lot of bondage and, like, as he put it, cheap porn, collages. And he hasn't done that in years. I think what he's doing is pretty refreshing. He's a lot, Samiak, he does a lot more about animal rights and stuff, which I totally respect. It's great stuff. One of my favorite noise bands. If I Merzbau, I forget to mention, Merzbau is a big time inspiration to me. And like non-Boyd Rice, the noise stuff is just freaking kick ass. In fact, I did a kind of like a little pseudo, it was kind of a live show I played in front of like 5 people a long time ago. I tried doing a cover of a non-song. It was actually with a beat. It was pretty cheesy, but it was fun to do, and was, everybody ended up leaving. I ended up just making more noise, and it was pretty like minimalist, weird shit. I was using like an echo box and then my rap man and the microphone. It was fun. It was really fun to do. But, so what am I saying here? My brain is going ding-a-ling-a-dingus. I love doing the earwigs, and I've slowed down a lot. I do record off and on. I have a whole bunch of stuff on one of my SD cards. I need to take that stuff off and do something with it, because I don't know if I've done enough stuff for an album, but at least for like a split. And I feel bad because I had the dude from Chaos VG try to get a hold of me, and I swear, dude, I apologize. I don't even know if you're going to hear this, but anyways, if anybody knows that guy, I need to get back in touch with him. I'm not being a rock star dick. He's asked me if I want to be on a comp. I would, but I still don't really know how to do all this. They're transferring, and like with SD card, you think, oh, you're just putting a little reader thing, you put it in your computer. Well, yeah, easier said than done. But anyways, one of my big goals this year is learn how to do all this stuff, get all this stuff going. Love to be on that 4-band split, man. I did an online split with Last Action, and I completely forgot. Carl, you're an awesome dude. Let's find out a way of getting the CD. We could put that out as like a 3-inch CDR. I don't know if anybody, I have the file. I don't know, man. It's like all this stuff, and I'm flattered. I'm really flattered because I get some really cool emails. I get the kindest words from people. They're like, dude, Earwigs freaking legend, and that means a lot to me. And I've had people say that I inspired them to start noise. I got my buddy Adam from Tomiki's Cup. Amy, his lovely wife. Cheers, guys. They do really cool experimental stuff, and we're supposed to be doing a split. And if all these people are like, dude, I want to do a split with you, it's like, I would love to, but the problem is it's like the setup, you know what I mean, recording, and that's something I've always had a problem with. I had a 4-track, and that sucker died about 2 years ago. What was it? No, a year ago. I recorded a conflagration song, like a 30-second song, and it just went, like the stop button just pretty much broke. And anyways, I don't want to spend too much more time talking about the problems, technical difficulties, but the earwigs are pretty much the Spinal Tap of noise, because I've had so many problems. But I keep doing it. Played shows with many, many, many cool bands. Lots of cool bands. Pop Culture Rape Victim, IDX 1274. One of the biggest thrills was playing with Ron Lessard from Immobolio. In fact, he put out a split 7-inch many years ago with Sonic Disorder in the earwigs, which to this day, I'm still beyond flattered. I think that, wow, legendary label, RRR. Played with Frank Sturgeon, Prurient, Cant. Played with Rat Bastard, who's like one of the coolest people I've ever met in life. Played INC that he set up. Him and Lewis, my old friend Lewis Pardum, did in Spokane at the legendary, rest in peace, Object Space Warehouse, Bruce Horman. Said to name, and also Vacant Lights is another legendary, crazy, cool, weird ambient noise project, long dead, but just awesome. Played with Ritual Hate. Did I just mention them? Did a split with them, split CD and a cassette, and I'm trying to find that right now because I'd love to put that out again. That has it's a part where I ran to the bathroom right in the middle of my set and I puked, and I don't know, people said you could hear me. I haven't even really listened to that show. I haven't listened to that show in years. Of course, played with Moth, Take Down UAV, played with a lot of freaking bands, a lot of cool bands. I just, right now, I can't remember the names of some of them. What was it? I played Seattle quite a few times, played Portland, played Spokane many, many, many times. Object Space, Checkerboard, the Cretan Hop, which I miss. I will always be grateful they played there. Thought we were going to play at the Hop, but that ended up not happening. And then TC sold the place, and unfortunately, the young lady that took over, she ended up giving up the business a while back. And it's sad because I was like one of the only places for metal shows, and they had a lot of drag shows and all that. And I think that's totally cool. And unfortunately, that venue's long gone. It's right downtown. But the Earwigs, I was also really, really inspired by Gwar. In fact, I've built my own like giant, mutant cannons and stuff. I have the Hell Cannon 077X-1 2000 weapon. I need to fix it. I've had people ask me several times, dude, are you going to bring that to a show? It's like, I'd love to if I had room to carry it and had it actually, working right. And I've got costumes, a hockey mask. I just, whatever, Road Warrior type stuff. Sometimes a cape and makeup. Kind of look like King Diamond because I love King Diamond. But the Earwigs has been an experience. And as much as sometimes I'd like to say I quit, I have quit many times, but I always come back, I come back and do stuff again. And like I said, I've been really slow, but the Earwigs are not dead. There's too much inspiration. And, I every year it's like, oh, I'm going to come back. And it's like, I'm still around, but I just haven't really done anything. And it's my own fault. It's just lacking inspiration, getting older, feeling really beat up. I used to have a lot of energy for the Earwigs. I used to just go crazy. But those days are not done yet. But, that's how life goes sometimes. But I'm definitely not done yet. I'm sure I'll play a show again sometime, even though I like to tell people I'm part of the shit scene. I'm not part of the noise scene. I'm not part of any scene. I'm part of the shit scene because I don't care. But that's not an insult to me, the Earwigs, or anything. It's just, I like to use the word shit scene. I was thinking about that scene in Man Bites Dog when that old guy says, shit myself every day. Shit, la 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 la. That's kind of like the Earwigs right there. Old guy laying in a bed singing about shitting himself. Pretty cool. Pretty hilarious, if you ask me. Shit myself. La 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 la. But, gotta bring up Hong Kong action films are definitely a big inspiration to my noise. And definitely Mad Max 2, my favorite movie of all time. Of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but all the crazy stuff that I love inspires my noise because I just think about that stuff. And a little, maybe not a known fact is almost every time before I play a show, either the night before or the day of, that I'm going to play a show at night, is I always watch this Hydro Kaiden live at the 20,000. What is it, that club? It's that Kingdom of Noise video, but I watch that Hydro Kaiden set, and that is like direct inspiration. It's what gets me hyped. I've also been known to watch Burst City by Sogo Ishii. And I freaking love, it's got the Stalin on it, the Red Rockers. It's just a kick-ass Japanese cyberpunk, badass rock and roll movie, and just gets me going, man. And of course, drinking coffee helps too. But anyhow, I'm going to keep doing Earwigs. I've done like 5 records now. I got an LP. It's going to come out this year once I get all my stuff together. It's going to be a double LP on breathing problems. It's going to be a collection of like my older grind noise and noisecore stuff. See if I can find some obscure crap to put on there. But a lot of people haven't heard that stuff now, so it'll be kind of new to them. It's supposed to be a gatefold album, so I want to use a lot of crazy old art and maybe take a really ugly picture of myself. But I'm pretty excited about it. Hope to be doing a 4-way split with Chaos VG. And then what was it? The band Vulva Christ, my old friend. We talked about that for years. Let's just get off the pot and do it. I hope one day to do another split with L Eclipse New, because I did that split. And I'm very, very honored by that, my friend. So thank you for putting that out. That came out in Japan, and then a buddy moved to the U.S. And I hope things are going good for you, man. You're a good dude. We need to get back in touch. I love your noise. I need to catch up on your stuff. I have like the first 4 CDs and a comp you gave me a long time ago, but I need to catch up on all your stuff because it's really great. But lots of stuff, planned, kind of in the back of my brain. I'm sure it's all going to happen. Just need to get serious about it. But the Earwigs are definitely not dead. I'm going to keep making freak noise, and hopefully one day play a really insane show. I'll do something like excuse me, the Hanatross, like drive a tractor through a building or something. Yeah. But no, I want to just do crazy stuff, and I'm not going to follow the rules. The Earwigs don't follow the rules of noise. The rules are a joke. I've been named as one of the top 10 worst live noise bands by iHeart Noise. And you know what? I would like to give a big fuck off to you guys, because I heard that, it was a few years ago, but several years ago, you guys were exposed that you had a little undersight, so to speak, and somebody hacked you and just talking shit about all the bands and talking, these are a bunch of elite dicks. But anyways, I'm kind of flattered by that. I'm sure it was somebody out here in Spokane, they're like, that band is terrible. Well, good. That's because I don't care. Just like this show, I don't get to the point. Although this episode has definitely been more focused. It's about my band. I like to wear bad wigs too. But mark my words, the Earwigs will definitely, I think the Earwigs will be playing shows again. And it will be something crazy. Don't expect some boring guy up on stage. Just standing, this is a song good. Just like, screw that crap. I'm sure I'll do my love song to my girl, as I always do every time. But anyways, I'm sure the next show will be crazy and over the top and nuts. And I also just completely forgot to mention, but one of my biggest inspirations too, of course, is G.G. Allen and the Mentors and White House. That's the MSBR, Government Alpha, GWAR, all the crazy costumes. I like wearing costumes. I think this is my thing. If you want to wear regular clothes on stage, that's how you dress normally. That's fine. I'm not Reagan. I love Marlo Eggplant. I'm sorry. It's Marlo DeLaura now. She retired the name, but she makes great noise, and she is just a really cool gal. She's awesome. To do this split with you, we've talked about one for several years now, kind of an ABBA theme going on there, total glam space thing going on. That would be awesome. I'd love to do that. I hope we do that, because you're awesome, and I hope you're doing good, my friend, and to your critters, and you're good man and all that. You know what I mean. Your partner, husband. I wish you guys the best. But everybody that's ever supported the Earwigs, I really appreciate the kindness. And Marlo is definitely one of the kindest people that I've met. And there's some people that I just don't hear from anymore. And I hope they're all doing good. Try to get hold of Ron again from RRR and Emo Bolio. I don't even know if he's even doing his label or anything. So sent him an email quite a while ago, no response. But anyways, oh crap. Time's up. So what was my point? The Earwigs are an alien noise, destruction, music, sci-fi, anime, mutant, robot, outer space, UFO, alien monster, freak, kaiju, meteor shower, space band. Maybe you'll see us at the Mos Eisley Cantina someday. Anyways, Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, Black Hole, all that stuff. Major inspirations too. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, you can look up the Earwigs online, and you can find videos on YouTube. I've got an Instagram that I keep forgetting to mention. It's Alienated778, and you can tell it's me. Just look at it. There's all kinds of crazy pictures and dumb stuff. But I want to say hello to all past, present, future noise freak, weirdo, and other genres of music that you people do, but specifically noise weirdos. I love all you guys. Princess Army Wedding Combat. My friend Sebran Charge, which for the life of me, because your band has such a long name, but I'm still honored we did that 3-inch split CDR. Let's do something again sometime, my brother. I love you. My little brother. And everybody out there, thank you, Adam, Jim from Minch, rest in peace. Everybody, thanks. Even Billy from Razorback when he used to do Stupidity and Be a Freak. Thanks, dude. Sean, Fecal Matter Discorporated. Everybody here. Daniel, L Eclipse New. All you weirdos that have, supported the Earwigs. Much love and respect. So, hey, this has been, we'll probably do a part 2 sometime. That lap down the road. My brain's about to explode. I got to get going pretty shortly. So, stay sick, take care. Don't forget to change your underwear, because if you don't, you'll get some really bad rashes and get a swamp going on down there. So, keep the fill. B.C.A, Ginger Forever. What else? I don't know. I think that's about it, because I gotta cut this off. So, later, kids.
Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.